we're going live. Let me get my camera running here so you guys can see how awesome I look today and every day, but today especially. Okay,
nice
so
hat.
Fair enough.
yeah,
I like the
welcome
hat.
everyone
Looks
to our Daily
good.
Success Call. It's Fun Friday. Woo.
Yoo-hoo!
Hey, Sarah, I see you. You're wearing a ski hat. That might be, is that a ski hat? That might be appropriate, right? There you go.
Yes.
There you go.
Yep.
Good. Who else? Who else is participating? So for our new members, just so you know, every
Okay.
Friday somebody's got to tell a joke, and we'd like to have a little dog show, maybe a cats, frogs, geese, whatever pets you guys have. But today we thought, instead of Hawaiian shirts, let's do hats. So who else dressed for the occasion? I'm not seeing too many participants here. Oh wait, Perry, what do you got?
Oh yeah, this is the funkiest hat I got. It's got a light on it.
Oh, yeah, he's got lights. Good. That's good stuff. I was wearing something like that in my not the hat portion, but the headlight portion up in the attic. I was doing some work, above the roof, and man, that thing came in handy. Just a Husky, Home Depot headlight thing works really good. Hey, Kelly, good to see you. There's Jan, there's Alec, there's Jay, and Joyce, and not too many people on camera today. Oh, there's Terry. Hey, Terry, good to see you. So let me tell you about this hat, and then we'll have whatever dogs or cats you guys have in your midst. I moved to Arizona. I grew up in New Jersey, as a lot of people know, and I moved to Arizona. I thought, wouldn't it be cool and appropriate for me to get a cowboy hat, right? Because now I'm in the West, right? Doesn't everybody wear these things? Well, maybe in Texas, I don't know, but in Arizona, it was like me and maybe one other guy in the whole state that was wearing this. So, but yeah, this is a real leather hat with, I guess, a band here, and I wear it Aussie style. So shout out to my friends down under, right? A little bit of a kind of folded down like that. So, works good, helps in the rain. And as they say in Texas, all hat and no cattle. I have no cattle. I got a hat though. So that's what people from New Jersey buy when they show up in Phoenix. Good times, everyone. Welcome to our Daily Success Call. Who's got a joke, or you got any? Oh yeah, this thing's got the cattle, right? I don't know anything about cattle. In fact, I will tell you, I don't know anything about cattle. Although there was one of the top producers that I've ever worked with in online marketing was a woman I met, obviously through the internet, who was a dairy farmer in New Zealand. So like, hats off to the farmers, literally, I suppose, hats off, because they know about entrepreneurial stuff. They know about, working with, things and putting things in order, right? You can't violate that law, right? You got farming going on. You got to be on point. There's no excuses, right? So thank you guys. All right, so we got jokes coming here. Perry, come on out. Unmute your microphone. Tell us a joke.
I don't know if my microphone's working all right for you guys or not.
Yeah, it works fine.
Okay, cool. So hopefully this is not offensive. I know John did one of these before.
Nobody's allowed to be offended. Nobody's allowed to be offended. All right.
I just wanted to throw that out there just to be sure. But yeah, so if you're Russian in the kitchen, then what are you in the bathroom?
I don't know.
European.
There you go. Good times, Perry. You're Russian in the kitchen. You're European. Anybody else? Come on.
I've got a joke.
Yes. Oh, look at that hat. Thank you, Anne.
It's my thinking hat.
Uh-huh.
My thinkinator.
Right.
I made it.
Is that the entirety of the joke, or is there more?
No, there's more.
Okay.
I thought I was gonna make a think tank joke, but I'm gonna say my joke is where do salmon keep their money?
I don't know.
In the riverbank.
And the riverbank. Very good. Good, family friendly, rated G. Very nice.
Yeah,
Thank
I got
you,
that one.
Anne.
That's for a friend who works in a salmon farm. So.
Oh, right. Very good. Scott, look at Scott, everybody.
I got some good news, by the way. My Etsy store is open now.
Woohoo!
I'm partying. Woohoo!
Well done. Well done,
Good
Ann.
job.
Good times. Let's go to Scott with his hat. Where's Scott? I'll put my hat back on too. Scott, where'd you go?
Right here.
There he is.
Do I need to keep my hand up? Is that?
Oh,
No, you make noise and then the camera goes to your.
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, this is my son's hat. We got it at the cave place and somewhere near Austin. I can't remember the name of it, but
Wow.
it was,
Nice.
got a
Good
bat.
time.
yeah, it's a bat.
Oh, boy. There you
So
go.
anyway, now my joke is, what did the big firecracker say to the little firecracker?
Don't know.
My pop is bigger than your pop.
Aha.
Good one.
I like that.
Good times. Good times. All right. So where are we at today? I didn't see any animals. Anybody got any animals to show off besides
have my
Scott's hat?
I have my usual Sheena.
There he is. Good to see you.
She's a tomboy. She looks like a boy.
Right, there she is. I meant, very good, very good. Thank you, Maggie. Thank you. Just for our new members know, we've got 3 policies here. Number 1 is if you can't be on time, be early. Number 2 is that if a dog barks while your microphone is unmuted, you must present the dog so that we can all enjoy the dog. And number 3 is somebody's got to tell a joke on Fridays. Fridays are fun Fridays. So we are on policy, everybody. Very good. What are we going to talk about here today? We've got we've got a bunch of stuff going on. I'm going to be meeting with a couple of you this afternoon for business launch sessions, which I'm very excited about. What else? We've had some progress, right? We just got to hear from Ann. She's got her Etsy account set up. That's a little win, right? And we've got other people who've made their first sales online ever. That's a win. And if you've been here for a while, and this is what I wanted to I guess touch on a bit today. If you've been here for a while, these may seem like little things, right? Like, wow, it's not like your first $1 million or anything. Although, remember when you were new, and we do have some very new people here, they're just looking to get to those points, right? Where they've got the requisite, machinery set up and they can start building some momentum. Let me mute the microphones. Hold on a second here. They could start building some momentum. Well, you can't build momentum if you don't have a platform that you're selling on. Multiple platforms for that matter, right? Because Etsy is not all things to all people, right? I've never bought anything on Etsy, I don't think. At least not that I recall. Okay. Bought a ton of stuff on Amazon, bought a ton of stuff on eBay. Okay, so there's multiple platforms, but these little wins accrue and add up to those big wins, right? Now, we've touched on this before. I know, Alec, you and I have had this conversation a couple of times, is the idea of, stopping to smell the roses, so to speak. In other words, to acknowledge that we actually are succeeding. Especially important for our brand new members, right? I saw, Jan here, who I just got to meet earlier today, and others, right, who I haven't had too much time with yet personally, right? I think that one of the most valuable things you can do for yourself as you prepare to launch your business and of course build momentum and profit from this whole experience, which is why you showed up here. But one of the most important things that you can do is acknowledge each little win along the way. And there's going to be lots of different things which you may not, well, it wouldn't qualify as financial recompense, right? So here's not, dollars or pounds or euros, at the outset, okay? But there are other things that you could recognize and you could acknowledge as wins to keep your own gratification level up as you're preparing to actually receive those dollars. All of this is necessary. In the course material that you guys are going through, and some of you have been through all of it, and some of you are, obviously making money, you got successful businesses running, that's awesome. But in the course material, there's a lot of focus on operations, logistics, technicals, and methods, which is good and necessary. That's wonderful. Okay, but the person who's doing it, you in this case, right? The person who's doing it is that person who hopefully is attacking these methods and these doingnesses, right? You're attacking it with enthusiasm. There was the great football coach. I know we just had Super Bowl here in the United States. Was it last weekend? Yes, last weekend. But there was a great football coach named Vince Lombardi. Anybody ever heard of Vince Lombardi? Yes, two of you. Yes. Okay. And so he said, if you're not fired with enthusiasm, you will be fired with enthusiasm. Okay. So a little play on words, a little bit of semantics there. Nice, fun, right? But think about that. So here were people who arguably are overpaid. Overpaid. What do you think? A couple $1 million a year to throw a ball around, right? And to be among the best in the world at doing so, and to entertain millions, right? What are people actually getting paid for? How many people do you serve, right? So yeah, the baller, they're serving a lot of people, okay? And so you consider the economics of that, okay? But if having made it to that place in one's career, which has never been my ambition, sports or whatever, okay? But having made it to that place in one's career, even they needed a reminder. Enthusiasm, guys. Right. So we're going to break that down here a little bit. We're going to break that down here a little bit today. And I think you'll find this instructive and perhaps entertaining as well. And you can take a bit of, you do a little bit of introspection. You can take a look at yourself and see where you kind of fit into what I'm about to describe to you as enthusiasm. Okay. So when I say the word enthusiasm, what do you guys think of? You probably think of maybe a party, right? Where people are having fun. Or maybe someone who you think of as bubbly, right? A bubbly kind of a, very social person, like maybe a natural born networker or something, which I have one right in the other room. Okay. So one of our friends is here visiting from Texas, and they are right now interviewing my wife for their TV show. They run a television show in the Houston market and other markets as well. It's syndicated, but they're running a TV show in the next room right now. And this guy is more, he meets people all the time. He can have a conversation with anybody. That's his thing, the gift of gab, so to speak, right? What else do you might think of when you think of enthusiasm? Is it something that happens to you? Is it something that, I'm excited because this thing happened to me? Let's say you won the lottery. Do you think you might feel like enthusiastic or, exhilaration or something? Sure. There are things that could input to you that could increase for a time, that could increase your level of excitement or enthusiasm, or whatever words are most powerful for you in that case. And if that's true, isn't it also true that there are things which might not be real, might not be exactly true in that moment, which could also cause you to feel certain emotions? You've all experienced this for yourself. Let me give you a positive example of it. So here's the guy who's running around trying to sell, he's a door-to-door salesman or something, and he's selling nothing. He's coming up empty, and he's down on his luck, right? And so his wife calls and says, "Great news, honey. We just won the lottery. We're millionaires. Hey, you keep doing what you're doing over there. We'll see you when you get done with your sales, calls and whatever you're doing out there." And suddenly the guy is like on top of the world. He sells everybody. Suddenly everybody wants his stuff. That's amazing. It's amazing. And he gets home from the hard day's work, and he says, "Where is it? Where's the winning lottery ticket?" And his wife says, "April Fools, I knew you were having a hard day. I thought I might cheer you up." All right. Now, once he got done strangling her, and we could just take a look at this objectively. Okay, was the enthusiasm, was the emotional state, was it real? Oh yeah, it was real. It was real. Was it based on something true? No. So, knowing that this is all very subjective, it's now incumbent upon us to put ourselves in a position where we kind of stack the deck in our own favor emotionally as we attack the day's opportunities, right? The sales calls, so to speak, as it relates to the little story that we just shared here. Okay. But that enthusiasm is real based on what? Based on whatever inputs you're choosing. So when I look at enthusiasm as not the bubbly guy, as not the person who's going to the party, okay, but enthusiastic nonetheless, I look at it as a state of knowingness. This is for me. You can try this on for yourself, see if it works for you. And I think it will. Okay. In fact, if you look at the word enthusiasm in the English language anyway, the last four letters are IASM, which could be an acronym for I am sold myself. I'm sold myself. I'm enthusiastic. I know stuff. Yes, I know stuff. I know more than Mr. and Mrs. Public, who do not know. They are ignorant of the benefits that could be theirs if they bought this stuff, right? So now I can go ahead and enlighten them, right? I mean, I'm enlightened. So now that they're communicating with me, I can transfer some enthusiasm to them. In fact, this is the essence of sales, guys, which is the game that we're all in. Sales and marketing, right? Via internet platforms, and Anne's got her Etsy account set up, and that's all very nice, right? It's all very nice. These are vias upon which your communication to your potential customer, right? These are vias for that communication, and they're good and right and necessary. And just setting up those communication lines is a win to be acknowledged, and to what? To acknowledge yourself and increase or augment your own enthusiasm, your own level of knowingness, your own state of being sold yourself before the money even shows up. So that's the point. Here's the guy with the door-to-door sales in our made-up example. He had a higher level of enthusiasm. His emotional state was higher, and therefore so were his statistics. So when I feel good, I do good. There's the punchline for all this. When I feel good and I'm happy and having fun and in the flow and noticing the little wins. Yes, the Etsy account set up. Yes, I made my first sale, right? $10 or whatever it was, right? But acknowledging each win does what? Resells ourself, augments our enthusiasm. Not based on false data like the imaginary lottery ticket, although I recommended some books for you guys. One of them was Secrets of the Millionaire Mind by T. Harv Eker. Hopefully you're digging into these things. They're not like highbrow, super lofty philosophy, but they're very usable, which is why I recommended them. Books like that. It's very conversational. It's one of the reasons I like that book, is because it's an easy on-ramp into getting some of this mindset stuff going. Because all of the forcing, here's the thing, all of the forcing in the world isn't going to bear fruit. As I've often said, more important than what we do is who's doing it. Who's doing it? Well, somebody who knows where they're going, somebody who's enthusiastic, somebody who's sold themselves. Well, now that's a powerful communication, right? When that person shows up in the marketplace, more people listen. Just like the guy going door to door, nobody wanted his stuff until all of a sudden he's on top of the world. Well, I'll have what he's having, right? He knows something that I don't. I want to know. Is there anybody who doesn't like to know stuff? Is there anybody who thinks ignorance is bliss? I don't know who came up with that. I'll tell you what, ignorance sucks. Not knowing, right? I like to know stuff. At least that's for me, right? Well, can you help me? Can you solve my problem? I got a problem right now. My problem is that I have a crappy T-shirt and my coffee cup is old. And can you help me? I'd like something that brightens my day. Well, thank you for creating that product right here. Have some of this worthless money. And I want that coffee cup more, right? Because I want to experience that. This sounds maybe too simple for some of you, although for some of you, it might sound like, wow, John, we're really getting into philosophical weeds here. I'm just trying to sell, coffee cups and pillowcases to the general public. There's more to the story than that. Who's originating that stuff? And look, we can go into a book which I've cited many times in these conversations. And for our new members here, you'll hear me talk about the teachings of Wallace Wattles from time to time. In 1910, he published what became his most, I think, his greatest work, which is The Science of Getting Rich. The Science of Getting Rich. So he doesn't mince words here. It's not the science of hopefully doing a little bit better in life eventually. No, it's a friggin' science of getting rich. And in that book, he talks about how two people engaged in the same business actions. Plumber A, plumber B, right? One gets rich, the other remains poor. Why? Because the one who gets rich does things in a certain way. And in order to do things in a certain way, you must think in the certain way. The certain way. Certain. Sold. Knowingness. Enthusiasm. Sold. The certain way. Not hopeful. No doubt. That's how important your emotional state is. Whereas the other guy, right, he's trying, oh, I hope this works. Let me force things. Let me force solutions on problems. You've got the same problems as the other guy. They're in the same business. But the one who's approaching things in the certain way, the way of no doubt, the enthusiastic way, we could say, the way of knowingness, not doubt, knowingness, that person can cause things that the other person can't quite cause. It really comes down to what Ralph Emerson called the law of laws, cause and effect, right? So if you want to be effective, well, then you yourself must not be the effect. Effects don't create effects. You must be cause, effect. Great. So you see how all this goes together, right? Your enthusiasm, your level of knowingness. I'm sold myself. I'm certain. I'm causative. Therefore, I'm effective. You see how all this goes together? This is, when you look at the hierarchy of importances as it relates to you becoming successful in business, you've got all these methods which you've chosen to participate in, and that's cool. That's not the top of the mountain, though. Top of the mountain is who's doing it. Okay, because Rachel can take a coffee cup and turn it into $100,000. Can you? Yes, you can. Yes, you can. When you do it like Rachel does it. How does Rachel do it? In a certain way. In a certain way. And that doesn't mean a secret way or a specific way. That just means without doubt. That means knowing where you're going. That means enthusiasm. Okay. Now, even if let's say your product is something sarcastic or derogatory in some way, like people buy all kinds of stuff. Okay. But you putting it out with a level of certainty and knowingness and enthusiasm to the ideal target audience who is into, sarcasm or derogatory statements or whatever. Okay, fine. You're still connecting the message with the market. You're connecting, right? You're connecting with the mind of the ideal target audience. You're entering a conversation that's already happening in their mind. And again, when I feel good, I do good. When I feel good, when I'm certain and enthusiastic and knowing where I'm going in life, now I've got what? Now I've got attention that I can put on. What do you want? So you see, we're getting to a point here. And if you're brand new into this group and you're wondering, what the hell, who's this crazy Italian street philosopher guy, John Lavinia? I'm the guy who helps people make a lot of money in whatever methods you're applying. I'm not good at much in life, but I'm really freaking good at that. Right. So if you take these ideas and you internalize them, you become like unstoppable. You become 10 foot tall and bulletproof. That's a promise. It doesn't mean it happens overnight because you forget a lot, right? I need reminders all the time. I'll speak for myself. I need reminders all the time. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's some good stuff. Or maybe I should do it. Like the title of my first book, Integrity is Everything, right? Yeah, well, here's all the philosophy. That's nice, John. Are you doing it? Well, to whatever degree you're putting this stuff to use, yeah, you are. And to whatever degree you're not, you lose, right? So I like winning. Guys. We play to win around here. I'll take every unfair advantage I can get. And I want you to have those advantages too. Most of this business is right here, which is really good news for, let's say, our brand new members. You just got started here. You're like, oh, wow, I'm wondering if I can even do this. Okay, well, just the fact that you can grasp these concepts that we're laying down here, and assuming you have an interest in being, doing, and having more in life and putting these ideas to use right there. You now know that you can. Okay. And then learn the methods, and that's fine. I heard someone earlier today, I was in a welcome session. Someone was talking about the first year, kind of a ramp up period. Well, okay. That's fair enough, right? You don't develop mastery overnight. Okay. But does it have to take, like, who says it takes a year? Who says it takes 2 years or whatever? I mean, you can go at warp speed. I don't know that your life will be in balance. I can't really argue that mine is, right. And I've been in business a long time, but I've got 4 companies and I'm kind of a crazy person. But when we get on fire, like the coach said, if you're not fired with enthusiasm, right? When we're fired with enthusiasm, it doesn't seem like work, and people respond totally differently to us in the marketplace. Understand, you are going to be showing up in the marketplace in some fashion. Decide who that is, who's showing up in the marketplace. Anyway, I think I've given you some stuff to chew on here as you get into your weekend, and hopefully it's a productive weekend. Just because the calendar says that it's Saturday or Sunday or whatever, right? You still get to deliberately choose, what are you producing in this time? I mean, it's your time, right? So I know we've kind of been a little bit all over the place here today. Hopefully I kept it light because it's Fun Friday. Your hats definitely gave me a chuckle. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Scott. Thank you, Ann. Thank you, Perry, and everyone. I see a couple of hands up. So why don't we go to Scott and then Alec and then anybody else who would like to talk. Hey, Scott, with that awesome hat, what's your thoughts?
I don't know if I should be wearing one. I'll talk. I don't know.
No, it's all good. It's all good.
Okay, as long as it doesn't distract, I guess. Well, there's a lot of things that I'm chewing on here. You first talked about enthusiastic,
Mhm.
and I was kind of thinking, well, where does it come from? I guess there's internal things and external things.
Mhm.
But I will tell you this: I haven't sold anything. I haven't posted anything. But I tell you what, I'm still enthusiastic because I'll tell you why. Because what I have learned through this process over the last month. Now, I am in the process. I've set up my LLC for it. Amazon's getting set up. I have that meeting next week. Now the learning process has been a little bit slower for me because ever since I've started this, my focus has changed. I don't know if you remember when I was talking about, I kind of got caught in that loop of the shiny object syndrome.
Mhm.
And so I spent a lot of money, no results. But I think something has clicked in me in the last month. And I've been kind of thinking about what's that thing that's still making me enthusiastic. So I've kind of had to take a step back and do an inventory of all these different things, including this low hanging fruit system that I've got so many now. It's like, where do I focus that energy? And so for me, though, when your face first came on, when I saw that first video and you recommended the books to read, well, the 2 books that I've chosen is The Miracle Morning and then The Cash Flow Quadrant. And so The Miracle Morning has really had me shift to instead of working on all the externals, like a certain business, or there's many different businesses and vehicles that can make you rich. But I had to ask my question, what am I spending all my time on? And so when in the book Miracle Morning, he talks about, what is it, pies, I guess, the physical, the intellectual, was it exercise, energy? I can't remember I guess S would be for spiritual.
Well, the SAVERS acronym, like silence and affirmation, right? All that is that
right. All that stuff he's talking. And so I've been trying to make that a practice. So I've been spending more of my energy and effort mastering myself over mastering necessarily this business so far. And I'm telling you, it's made monumental shifts in my thinking. So I'm really, really excited of what's to come there. But really, what I really wanted to share was my most exciting moment was I was reading in the Cash Flow Quadrant, and it's in the preface, so it's not even into the chapters yet. And it's something that I know that deep down in my gut, I've always kind of struggled with, this idea of education in terms of external things, whether or not you want to be a pilot or a plumber or whatever the case is, versus really how much time do we really take educating ourselves on how to be, whether it be physical or intellectual or emotional or spiritual, all those things which are encompassed in the Miracle Morning. So as I'm reading this, it reminds me of a conversation that I have with my daughter. Every morning I take her to school. And every morning she is dreading it. She hates school. She hates all that stuff, but yet she's a straight A student. And finally, I pulled her aside just the other day. I said, I know what your problem is. You're starting to see that there's something missing. It's like people are trying to tell you what you should learn, and you should get set up, and you should have all this stuff so you can get into college and all these things. In fact, yesterday she's going from middle school to high school, and we had a little high school fair where they have all the booths about science and vocation and all this stuff, electives and so forth. And she was like, I just don't understand. I'm just not enthusiastic or passionate about all this kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. And so in the preference of cash flow, his main focus was, what is your life goal? And it's about finding your path. And so in the book, he said, finding your path is the goal. Finding your path is the goal, is what he was saying in that book. And so he goes on, it's a different kind of an education. And he goes on a little bit of his life story about when he decided to, obviously he wrote the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad. So he decided to go his rich dad's way versus his poor dad's way. And it's really a matter of thinking. But my excitement was, so I'm starting to get more enthusiastic in my early times, waking up, reading these things, getting new ideas and so forth. And so I pulled my daughter and I said, here's the issues, because you don't know what you want. You don't know your life goal. And the reason why you don't know what you want is because I don't know what I want. And I'm in that process of learning myself. But I told her that at age 13, you have a really good springboard to get started. If start looking at answering the question of finding the path is my goal, or finding my life goal, versus I'm 51 now and I'm just now, wow, I should have been looking for my life goal when I was at 13, but I didn't know any better. And so when I was kind of explaining this to her, I just opened up that book and I started reading a page. Now, keep in mind, she hates school to the point she doesn't like reading or anything like that. She started, you could see the wheels spinning in her mind. And she said, here, can I read that book to you? So she picked up the book and she started reading it to me. And talk about my heart melted as a father. I was just so excited. So not sure where this is all going to lead. But anyway, I'm enthusiastic, and I know that's coming from the internal, but it's also a shift of thinking. So what if I don't sell a mug or have it posted in a certain time frame? To me, my goal now is to find out what that path is. And so this is part of the journey. And so so we'll see where that leads. So I'll leave it there.
Scott, thank you. That is so huge, because think of the everybody who's a parent, you can, I think, relate to what Scott's saying in terms of you want your next generation to be, better, stronger, faster than you, right? What's the whole point of parenting and leadership, for that matter, if there's not, progress being made? And yet when purpose is removed, let's say, here are some actions, here are some methods which are bereft of purpose, which is probably what your daughter's perceiving in terms of, here's algebra. Well, what do I need to use this? Right now, you gotta know some stuff to get on in the world. So go ahead and swallow that pill. That's fine. Okay, but to what end? If she's like digging into like Robert Kiyosaki, right, and his, he's introducing her to, purpose. Like, here's how we make money. Well, that's freaking good, right? A lot of times people ask kids, like, what do you want to be when you grow up? I don't know. How about this question? What do you want to have when you grow up? Oh, well, I want to have this and that. Oh, great. Well, then here's some methods you can get there. Find, ones that are you've got a natural proclivity for, or, natural tendency, and how you can develop those strengths, and then, serve your fellow man with them. Right. Scott, you're a great communicator and a pianist, right? So you can serve, your fellow man with that in a variety of different ways. personally, I'm not attached to methods, guys. I do e-commerce, very different methods than what is being done here. And they're congruent with me, and we're kicking ass, like we're making piles of money. It's friggin' awesome. Okay. But the different strokes, right? There's as many paths as there are people to take them, hopefully based on a purpose. Like, to what end are you doing any of this? Where's the carrot, man? Right. Which is why, in fact, I'll lean on Jan again today, my new friend Jan, who we just met. Right. What did I ask you today, Jan? Basically, what do you want? Right. Do you have a goal? Like, why make money? Like, how much money? Like, what's the money for? Right. Because without all of that, it's just, I don't know, get a hobby or something. I suppose we could, collect stamps or play video games or whatever. Right. But no, there's a reason, a purpose. I crack myself up. Jan, did you have a comment? That we're going to go to Alec and Terry. Hey, Jan.
No, I have no comment.
Okay. Well,
I just learned a lot from this morning. I realized I'm thinking way too small, but I'll be anxious to get together with you and set some real goals.
Awesome. Jan from Colorado, everybody, and her partner Pam, who is not here with us right now. I don't think. Is Pam here? Where's Pam? I haven't met Pam yet. Okay, great. Alec, and then Terry, and then anybody else. Hey, Alec, talk to us, man.
Okay. Yes, sir. So you were talking about enthusiasm, and then Scott said something right now that I found very let's just say it just made a lot of things make sense. And he was talking about his daughter and how she is a straight A student, but she doesn't like doing it. So I do understand exactly actually where he's going with that. Because, of course, as you're growing up, everybody, I wanted to go to culinary school right out of high school. Everybody is against that. No. You got to do this. You have to do that. You have to do that. So I first started going to college for nursing. Could not stand it. I hated everything about it. I hated going to class. Well, not that I hated the teachers or anything, but just I hated the whole having to go to school to do something that I didn't want to do. So I didn't even finish that semester. I wound up dropping out. And then I tried getting into the service. I'd say the first time I tried all 4. Over the years, I tried about another 3 times. And after my very first time of trying the 4 different branches, I really did not know what I wanted to do. I was completely lost. And then it was actually my mother who had told me. She reminded me of something that I'd been saying since I was a little kid, and I'm talking about 5 years old. I said, I want to do something in the film industry. I don't care if I'm the lighting guy. I don't care if I'm the sound guy. I don't so much like being in front of the camera, but behind the camera, I can be there all day. So she sent me to film school. And well, let's not even get into the details on why that didn't exactly plan out. But Karen had said, she said a few times, it's about finding your inner child. And I started writing a script, which I feel is pretty good, and I feel it's even better to know that if I push at it, I can have this thing done full script, movie length, start to finish in less than 2 weeks,
Wow.
which I think is actually pretty good. So what does that exactly tell me? Just the fact that I want to work on this. I want to do this. Now, I'm not saying that I don't want to start a business or anything. I am not saying that whatsoever. But it was suggested a few times that, hey, maybe you should take some time off. And I'm not saying that they're telling me directly, but it has been said that maybe you should take some time off. So I did notice that I was getting very overwhelmed with a lot of the stuff that I had to learn. So if I couldn't really get into learning the steps in the mindset that I was in, I had to get out of that mindset. So in order to get out of that mindset, I had to go back to a childhood thought. I mean, I had to go back to the very, very beginning, and I do feel like once this can be done, my mindset is just, Scott was even saying that he's working on him.
Mhm.
So I do feel that as I'm writing the script and as I'm working more on it, not only is it just clearing up a lot of the little things that I had to do for the business, it is making that easier.
Mhm.
And even you said, it's if you think good, then good things happen.
Let me jump
And
in on
for
this. Let me jump in on
okay,
this
go right ahead.
because we're coming up to the top of the hour. I want to hear from Terry and Mariska as well.
Yes, sir. Go right
The
ahead.
idea of gratification. So you apparently have a passion for storytelling. Okay.
Yeah.
So here's a screenplay or what you're writing, which may or may not be profitable in the short term. But with those same skills and that same creativity, if you could translate that into these methods, which could be profitable in the short term, then it's just a matter of compartmentalizing and balancing. So here's the time. I don't know if you guys are familiar with something called block scheduling. My wife and I teach this in our agency. We work with business owners and stuff, and the idea that there's always going to be things that impinge upon you that may or may not be important, but they seem urgent, right? That's two different things. Important and urgent are two different considerations. But if we can block, here are important things, and now nothing else can impinge on that block of time. Now that's very gratifying, because I'll tell you what, and you guys all know my favorite 4-letter word is done. Done, right? I love done. All right. So done is very gratifying to me. Well, it's never going to get done if I'm multitasking, right? So I'm going to have to, like right now, right? I got people ringing my phone off the hook. They can all wait, because right now I'm talking to, Alec and Terry and Mariska, right? So everybody else can wait because this is blocked off, right? Now come the top of the hour, it's not blocked off. So we need to move it along. But Alec, do you get what I'm saying? Find ways to gratify yourself and to profit from that, even if it's not financially, so that you're enthusiastic when you come back and you do these other actions, which you're intending will be profitable in the short term. All right. So
Will do.
yeah, I feel
That's
good.
actually yeah, this is making me feel good. So it is
Well,
helping
good,
me
man.
to
Here
get
you
some
are.
stuff done.
Salvation is upon you, man. Pass the collection basket, everybody. Here we go. Hi, Terry. How's my friend Terry?
I'm doing great, John.
I know it.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying this coaching. I'm telling you, at the beginning of the call, you mentioned about having wins. And after I thought about it, I realized, I do have a win. Like I said, the coaching you had yesterday was great. I've been struggling. I haven't had any sales yet. And so I've been even struggling just to do what I need to do to get this going. And I love the 4 steps you gave us yesterday. That book, Magic Morning, it's magic. I started reading that, and and even Scott, I hear what you're saying. It put everything in perspective for me. It even mentioned how night owls can turn into morning people, because I'm a self-proclaimed night owl. And it said even they can become morning people, and how that morning time is the most productive time. And so I said, okay, it was just because I could see it. I saw testimonies of other people, how following that has changed their lives. And I thought, okay, I'm committing to this. And so I did. This morning, I started for the first time in a long time. I even exercised. And so just that enthusiasm, I'm getting enthusiasm from seeing I could do that. And even just the journaling, where I want to be. And I mean, I've written that already. I'm going to write it again. That's generating enthusiasm for me, that I can actually do this. And now I'm looking forward to actually working on the business, because now I can see if I just follow these steps, I'll get there. I will be successful. So I'm enthusiastic about this program now, and the coaching. Thank you. I appreciate it. It was the kick in the butt I needed. Thank you.
Oh, Terry, thank you. Look, I'll receive that acknowledgement, right? Because I don't always know what effect I'm having, right? A lot of times people, they show up and they're like, well, I want to learn methods. Yeah, well, that's cool. You'll learn methods. Okay. But who's doing them? Right. So Terry, thank you. And by the way, for anyone who's panicked because you saw Terry's clock in her background, that was a false clock. That wasn't the real time. So, all right, let's wrap up with Mariska. Here she is, Mariska. Hello. Mariska. You gotta unmute your mic.
Yes,
Mariska.
yes.
There she
Hello,
is.
everybody. I am
Great.
Mariska Malone. I am new in the group.
Welcome.
I just saw the welcome video of John, and I begin to become very enthusiastic, because long time I don't hear such speeches. So I was so enthusiastic, but because of work, I could not have time to join before. So tonight I really do my best to be on time, and I really enjoy it. And what Terry have said, in sales, you really need to be enthusiastic, because I always do sales, but this is totally different sales for me. So, but I'm happy with the classes to get my enthusiastic back for sales online.
Welcome. Glad you are here,
thank you.
Mariska. And we haven't had a welcome session yet. What country are you in?
Belgium.
Belgium.
Europe. Yes.
Belgium, ladies and gentlemen. Mariska, welcome.
Thank you.
Good times. Good times. All right. Well, guess what? We are past the top of the hour. So why don't we go ahead and end off with that? Let's have an awesome weekend. Let's be productive in some fashion, right? Be productive over the weekend, make progress. And then why don't we get together again on Monday? What do you guys think? Should we do this on Monday? Yeah, we will. All right. I see Jenny O saying yes. All right, good. We'll do that then. You guys.